Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope everyone is doing great. Welcome to Investing with Jess, Retire Early. So, while I'm driving, going to work, I would like to have some chat with you guys, talk about investing in general and specifically my experience in stocks investing and sometimes short-term trading in the past 5 to 6 years. So I think you already experienced also in your investing or trading. There are some companies that the share price goes out of fundamentals. Like, it's more most popular the GameStop, and then AMC. You remember that? I don't know if you have taken some profit during that time and you were able to catch the volatility of these companies. And most recently, as you know, the open door stocks. If you are following these stocks, you are very familiar with the volatility of the share price. So just a simple advice, maybe based on what I have experienced, because as I posted in my other videos that I already took profit from open door in the past 2 weeks. So approximately around $4,000 for this particular trade. Sometimes I do trade for this kind of stocks, but usually I only invest for long term, for the companies that I believe have a good strong fundamentals. But if I see some interesting companies like this one, the open door, and I see that I'm still in the early innings of the trade, I try to take advantage. So I just wanna remind you guys that this is not a financial advice. It's just my opinion. So whenever you are investing or trading in your portfolio, you have to make sure that you do your own diligence and understand what's behind the business. And the most important is make sure that you are only trading or investing the amount that you can afford, in terms of, let's say, the share price did not go with your expected result, right? So we have to make sure that we really understand the risk. So for my investment or my portfolio, I do have a very small position that I just keep it in my trading balance, so that whenever I see this kind of interesting companies, I use that small amount of fund so that it could help me grow my portfolio. So like this one, I think 2 weeks ago, this open door kind of popularity, I was able to notice this one when it came into the news in the internet, that there are some I think the fund manager Eric Jackson was actually promoting this company, and during that time the share price of open door started to kind of go wild, right? It started from, I think, below dollar, and then it went up. Actually, all-time high is around $10, and as you know now, it's going back at least below $8. So what I'm trying to say is that make sure before you enter the position is that what exactly the main reason why the share price of the company is going higher. So that's the first thing we need to understand. Is it because the business is really having a good profitable outcome, or it's just because someone or some analysts or fund managers are just hyping up the company, right? So sometimes the share price of the stocks, especially for this type of companies, are driven by either speculations of someone, popular analysts or known fund managers, and then they're trying to hype up the I would say, announce some good information based on what they speculate the company's valuation, and then the retail investors or some of the traders are actually going in buying shares of this company, and that's actually driving the share price volatility, especially if the company is being shorted. So this type of short squeeze is happening when there is a news, and at the same time speculations on the company. So if for me, the way I trade this kind of companies is that I look first what price is already the the volatility of the company is already there. Like for example, am I late in the game? I would say, is this volatility already running for more than a week? And I think, for example, for Opendoor, it actually goes up more than 100% in just a week. So if the share price went around 100 plus percent of volatility, or share price, or it goes higher than 100%, what I do is that I will not buy a position for that company, because there's a possibility, and most of my in my experience, if it's more than 100% already of the profit, there's a likelihood or probability that it will go, it will just basically dump the price. So maybe some of the big investors are buying this in the initial stage of the volatility, and then when the share price already went up more than 100%, that's the time they're gonna take a profit and dump big shares of this company. So that will drive the share price going down. So you don't want to catch that kind of scenario, right? So for me, by average, whenever I see that the share price just started to fluctuate for around 40% up, that's when I start to enter my position, like buy some shares and see whether it will go higher or not. So normally I only enter to this kind of my position in at least minimum of 2 to 3 days. So sometimes if you entered with the stocks from 40% share price volatility, and then it will still continue to go up in let's say 2 to 3 days. So once I see that there is a flat fluctuation from my initial purchase and I already have a profit, I normally trim my position. I don't sell everything, I just trim at least 50% so that I can take the profit and recover the initial investment. So in my case for Opendoor, I was able to recover the initial investment, and I just left 50% of my position, which is already what they call a house money. So whatever is in the position in the stock in my portfolio for Opendoor is already profit. So if let's say the share price goes back down, then worst case will happen is maybe goes to $1 or something. Still, whatever I will lose there is from the profit, so it's not from my initial investment. So I am already winning in that trade. So that's the ideal scenario. If you know that you are just in the beginning of the I would say volatility of the share price, and the hype is just getting started, that's normally I try to catch and I buy some shares. But if the share price already went up, like what I said, more than 100% or even 200%, and it runs up more than a week already, there is a possibility that the share price will go back down. So in that case, you have to check the background of the volatility, or the when exactly the share price started to go higher. So in this case, I think Open Door has been wild or very volatile for the past 2 weeks. But I think Open Door is somehow not exactly the same as GameStop or AMC, because Open Door has a potential. There's a potential because it's really a real business. But whether the strategy of the management will work is something that we need to observe. So as we know, for the Open Door, there's a new CEO, and then they're announcing that they're going to improve the AI capability of the app, of the system. That's potential that will bring a profit to the company. But whether it really works or not is what we need to understand and see maybe on their next quarter earning report. So as of now, I already exited with this company for my whole position. I secured my profit already, because I can see that the price, actually yesterday it went down more than 15%. There's a possibility that it will go back up, right? It depends on again, some news that will be announced by the company, and as we can see, it is heavily shorted again. On the other side, there are other they call it open army, who are really fighting to buy the shares. And then I think this will still take a bit time to fluctuate, and if the share price will go, I think, lower than $5, then I will try to buy some shares again and see and try to test whether it will go back up or not. But it depends still on the news, right? So the way I trade is along with the share price, if it's reasonable for me, I also look at the news or some announcements from the management, whether there's a upcoming announcement or any kind of results from the market regarding the business, or some other comments from the analysts. Those kind of factors that are being shown in the public are something that would impact the price volatility, because the confidence of the investors will be based on what the management of Open Doors will say, and at the same time, what are the speculations. So we have to balance that. So for me, I don't really 100% look at the indicators. I'm not like a traders that looks at the indicators 100%, but I'm also trying to balance whether the share price makes sense and based on the past volatility, and what's the all-time high, what's the all-time low, plus some of the news that are being announced by the company. So I tried to enter a position with this kind of balancing in my information that I researched from the company. So basically, if you are trying to trade this kind of companies, you have to make sure that you understand what's the reason why it is going higher. Is it because the company is really having a good fundamentals, strong fundamentals, or profitable? These companies are for long term. But if this is just like sudden quick or sudden jump of the share price, there's a possibility that it's kind of speculation. So if you want to take advantage this kind of volatility, make sure that you don't enter on the very late stage of the game. So maybe some of the traders already took advantage and the profit, so you don't want to be left on the side that you're buying at the high price, and the share price will just go down and you cannot recover your initial investment. So just be careful, guys, in your investing. And again, this is not a financial advice. Do more research about the company, and whenever you enter a position in this kind of volatility or hype stocks, make sure that you enter with a small amount, or that you can afford to take some risk. Okay, that's only my some cents for today, guys. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and share your thoughts as well. And I hope we can share our knowledge in terms of the experience of the investing, and together we will grow our portfolio And our goal for this channel is to retire early and enjoy our time with our families and friends. Thank you very much, guys. I'll talk to you in my next video. God bless.